Paulo Fiergo Filo, a close associate with the Bolsonaros, particularly the President Bolsonaro and Eduardo, and a great friend of the show and a personal friend of mine. I've been very disturbed, brother, about what's going on in Brazil and what I hear is going on in Brazil through my vast back channel. And it was just, I've been wanting to have you on, but I wanted to wait till it broke into the media because I didn't want, for security reasons and others, to kind of jump this story. But now that's out in the Brazilian media, they are reporting that the Lula, the Marxist Lula, and the corrupt, insane judge, the Supreme Court judge, and the prosecutor. By the way, these guys there are beyond the Tish James level. They're beyond the Jack Smith level. They're beyond the Lisa Monaco level. They're beyond the Merrick Garland. And that tells you, in Bannon's pantheon, when you're above that, you're in with the Nazi judges. They are working on, according to Brazilian media, sir, I guess a 26-count indictment, some sort of indictment on President Bolsonaro tied to the Lula and these guys stealing the last election. And they're about to indict him for what? Insurrection and treason? Is that what it is, sir?
It's for supposed coup d'etat. They say that Bolsonaro, but Brazil had an episode very similar to the United States, January 6th. Brazil had almost the exact same thing on January 8th. 2023, with a few differences. Bolsonaro was not the president anymore on January 8th, 2023, and people stormed the Capitol, the palace where Lula works, but no one was there because it was a Sunday, and Bolsonaro was actually here in the United States, in Orlando, on vacation. So they're saying that Bolsonaro staged an attempt of coup d'etat, and he was behind it all the time. It's very, very similar to the narrative of Trump being behind the insurrection on January 6th, but it was January 8th, 2023, and it was Bolsonaro behind it. They're actually, I'm part of the people being indicted too. My role as a journalist is because I pretty much reported on what was going on the behind the scenes of the meetings of the Joint Chiefs that were deciding what to do with Moraes, because clearly Moraes, which is the Supreme Court justice, that's the same guy that Elon Musk had the feud with, Moraes was totally out of control and rigged the 2022 election. So the Joint Chiefs were deciding what do we do with him? He's actually doing a real coup. And they decided ultimately not to do anything. But because I reported that, they said I was inciting insurrection, so they indicted me too. We're part of more than 40 people being indicted on this case. And the indictment should be coming out, the final report. We have the initial police report that was released in mid-December, but the actual indictment, the charges, are being presented, according to the Brazilian media, sometime next week, probably next Friday, according to my sources within the Attorney General's office. So, so the bottom line is, former President Bolsonaro should be indicted for a supposed coup d'etat in Brazil in 2023 by next Friday. With that, a lot of people speculate they might issue a preemptive arrest warrant claiming that he represents a flight risk. They already used that argument, stopping Bolsonaro to attend Donald Trump's inauguration. Remember, Steve, former President Bolsonaro was among the very few leaders that Donald Trump invited himself personally to attend the inauguration, but he couldn't actually come to the United States because Moraes said he represented a flight risk, so he denied to give his passport so he could travel. So he's stuck in Brazil.